866-6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. Cappi Pidwell's in the house. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing planner, plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Today, we've got some interesting celebrations. Now, there's some that I'm not going to get too excited about, right? National Walk to School Day. They don't say uphill 5 miles in the snow both ways. They don't say that at all. Today's National Pumpkin Seed Day. There's one that I love. Coffee with a Cop Day. You know, you got to love, go buy the police officers, law enforcement officers, buy them a cup of coffee when you see them any day, not just on the first Wednesday of October. National LED Light Day. Okay. Frap Day. And, you know, being that I've beaten anorexia, I'm going to tell you right now that my favorite of the whole celebration today would be National Chocolate-Covered Pretzel Day.
Yay.
Yeah, we can go with that one. That's a good one. Hey, let's take a look at what the markets are doing today. It's a rocky road if you're an investor. The last, about 4 hours of trading time, that would be yesterday's close, and so far this morning, 2.5 hours, the market's opened. It's been a rocky road. The Dow was down about 400 some points yesterday. Now it's up 412 points as I speak to you. S&P 500 is up 43 points. NASDAQ up 164 points. Oil down just a little bit, down $1 a barrel. Not good for those that want to try and do oil production in the United States. 10-year Treasuries up about 1.5 basis points at 0.772. I'm going to tell you right here, right now, you'll be the first to hear it. If we go above 0.8, that will be bad news for the mortgage market. Above 0.8 is not good news if you're thinking about getting a mortgage, getting a new house. But you know something, we'll talk more about that because it is just a component of what's going on. That's not the whole story. You don't have to worry about that part of it. There's a lot more going on than just interest rates. And unfortunately, there are quite a few people in the media that do not understand it. But we'll share that with you in the Mortgage Minute here in just a few minutes. Let's see what else is going on in the world today. You know, there's some of these things that just baffles me, how the media can take anything, especially certain institutions. The Cannabis News Network, MSNBC, Hee-Haw, CBS, ABC, NBC, they can take a message from a leader and distort it any way they want to. Nobody ever challenges them on their distortion, except Ron Siegel Radio, because I will right here, right now. The latest one is the president saying, don't be afraid of COVID. Now, think about this concept. What would happen if you went to the doctor and unfortunately you're diagnosed with some sort of a life-threatening disease, and the doctor said, you know something, you should be really afraid of this? Well, don't you think it's going to have a negative impact on your mental outlook, your mental psyche? Your brain has a lot to do with your success and your failure. How you're talking to yourself. We're going to learn more about that later today. How you talk to yourself matters, right? So when the president says, don't be afraid of COVID, he didn't say don't respect it. He didn't say it's a dangerous disease. We all know that. 211,000 fellow citizens, fellow Americans have died from this disease. So we understand that it's dangerous. But are you going to live your whole life under a rock? Are you going to stay indoors for the rest of your life or until there's a vaccine? Now, some politicians are saying, you know something, I don't even want a vaccine. We're not going to take it. We're going to do our own research, right? So maybe that's a good idea. Maybe it's not. I think we need to be able to trust the CDC and the other scientists. Now, I'm not one that says all scientists know every answer, because basically it is a scientist's job to either prove or disprove something, right? So there's going to be people on both sides of the conversation. We need to understand that. But from a mental outlook, you know something, you always have to believe that you're going to get better if there's a disease out there. You know something? I know that we're going into cold season right now. I am not going to hide at home and say, I'm not going to ever get a cold. I'm not going to ever get the flu, right? Because I stay inside, I shelter in place. No, it's not the way to do things. So you go out, you respect the disease. If you are part of the vulnerable part of our population, take extra precautions, right? Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be the foolproof way, but I am saying that we're seeing Sweden. Think of what they did in Sweden. They've reopened the entire country, and they have not had any kind of an uptick in problems. We're seeing that in many, many other areas. They're not having the major impact by opening up their societies. Scientists call it COVID herd immunity strategy. Here's the issue. They want all the young people, some scientists, they want all the young people. This is called the Great Barrington Declaration. You can look it up if you want to. Named after the city in Massachusetts where they came up with this. The whole idea is if the young people go out there, they can actually create herd immunity, because the science is already showing us that the young people, they get it. They get over it rather quickly. They don't have as many problems. Yes, if a young person has asthma or they've got other conditions, no, they shouldn't be part of this. But if you get enough of the young people out there, you know something, they can bring that herd immunity to the rest of us, and we need to understand how to do that, how to do it safely. So just a little bit of information right there. Hey, let's see what else. What drove the market down yesterday? Does anybody have an idea what drove the market down? Well, it's very simple. The president came out, just a little tweet came out, and the president said that he's instructing his team not to negotiate any further on a coronavirus package, a bailout, another stimulus bill. And he just plays the politicians. It fascinates me how over and over again, the politicians, the media, they fall for every one of his tricks, and he does it over and over. You would think, even my dog realizes that if I put a treat out for him and I don't let him have it, and then I put another treat out for him and I don't let him have it, and I do it enough times, they start saying, something, I'm not going to believe there's going to be a treat coming. Well, look at what the president did yesterday. He comes and says, we're not going to negotiate anymore on any kind of a stimulus package. Market drops 400 points. Might have even dropped 600 points from where it was to where it closed. But then he comes out early today or late yesterday and says, and this being President Trump, I would be willing to sign for a $1,200 stimulus check to the individuals throughout the country. Market skyrockets. It's just amazing to me how he does the same thing over and over again, and people fall for it over and over again. What he's really saying is he's not willing to go where the Nancy Pelosi wants him to go. Now, we understand why he doesn't want us to go where Nancy Pelosi wants him to go, because she told us.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Yeah, if you remember that, that's right, from the health care bill. Pass it, we'll figure out what's in it. Apparently, there's some people that don't like that idea, but now the president, he said he would sign a stimulus package for individuals, $1,200 per person. They're working on a package for the airlines to see if they can help them out. We'll see what happens, but I'm telling you right now, right here, it's just another negotiating trick from or strategy from the president. It's just the way he does it all the time. We got a one of my favorite people in the whole world is wishing you a good morning, Cappi. So I'm going to throw that right up there on the screen.
Aw.
You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to talk to Cappi Pidwell. She's got a new book coming out. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to also talk about a homeowner's net worth 40 times greater than a renter's. I wonder if we should buy some real estate. And mistakes people make when hiring a financial advisor, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990, or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star, they've got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call for your next mortgage to buy your next piece of property, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones now up 414 points. The NASDAQ up 168 points. S&P 500 is up nearly 43 points. 10-year Treasury up 3 basis points. We're staying below that 0.8 that I told you. That's a good thing for you if you're thinking about buying a house. And the mortgage-backed securities, they are down 8 basis points, means interest rates are slightly higher this morning. Not a whole lot there. So why is all of this happening? Well, the Mortgage Bankers Association released their mortgage application data for last week, showing that overall application volume was up 4.6% from the previous week. Refinances increased by 8% last week and are 50% higher year over year. Purchases were down 2%, but on a year over year basis are still 21% higher. Now, be careful, please be careful. Don't listen to some of the media people because they have no clue what they're talking about. I'm going to share that with you. Give me just 1 second and I'll tell you exactly who is misleading you and what they're saying that is completely bogus. Interest rates decreased slightly from 3.05 to 3.01. That's the Mortgage Bankers Association number, 98 basis points, or almost 1% lower than this time last year. Remember, the MBA rate is for last week and always includes a fraction of a point, this time 0.37. The refinance share of mortgage activity increased slightly to 65.4% of all loans, up from 63.3%. After the release, Joel Kahn, economist for the MBA, said that the drop in purchases was due to an affordability issue. Unbelievable. Quote, there are signs that demand is waning at the entry-level portion of the market because of supply and affordability hurdles, as well as the adverse economic impact the pandemic is having on hourly workers and low and moderate income households. As a result, the lower price tiers are seeing slower growth, which is contributing to the rising trend in average loan balances. Meanwhile, we've been seeing the strongest demand in the lower segment, and affordability has been solid due to weekly earnings up 5.6% year over year. Now, if you understand what the heck this guy just said, you're better than me, because he said that you're earning 5.6% more than you were last year, and the housing is less affordable. Now, if you're earning 5.6% more, that's going to equate to about a 15% or 20% increase in the home values. We're not seeing that. So the one that's unbelievable, gives us all bad information all the time. Diana Olick, CNBC. Last week, she was pounding the table on how great the purchase market is. This week, purchase apps are down, and she says the purchase market is gone. Well, let me explain just a little bit to you, because I want to get to our guest today. In the lower priced properties, in the entry-level properties, the only reason that they're not flying more than they are flying now is because there's not enough inventory for all the people that want them. I talk to realtors all over Southern California every single day, and the biggest challenge is finding something for them to sell. They've got buyers out there. They just can't find properties that are fitting. Now, when they talk about the median home price going up 11%, why is that happening? It's simple. It's just called mathematics, right? If you understand the difference between a mean and an average, mean means half the prices are selling above that price. Half the properties are selling below that price. The higher priced properties are selling. There's more a shift in that in purchases to the higher end of the spectrum. That's going to bring the property mean up. The average is right around 5% appreciation. Property values are not dropping. Understand that, please, because they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to explain it to you in the mainstream media. You're going to only get that information from Ron Siegel Radio and a very, very few select others. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. Just give them a call or mysocallender.com. So we're going to chat this morning. We're welcoming Cappi Pidwell back with us, talking about the mindset. And I don't want to get political, Cappi, at all, but I do want to ask you a simple question, because you're the queen of the mindset world, right? So if I tell myself that I'm not going to recover from something, or I tell myself I am going to recover, is there a difference? Am I going to have a mindset difference in those two?
It's not just what you tell yourself. People think that often. And if it was easy as just saying, oh, I'm not going to do this, all right, I'm going to do this, everybody would be thin and happy and rich. So
I'm not thin. I am happy and I'm not rich. I guess 2 out of 3 I've struck out on.
I'm just saying it's not that simple. So people do affirmations, and why do they do them? Because they hope to believe it. So that's the difference. We follow what we believe, not just what we want to think.
That makes sense. I get it. Okay. So, and obviously that's what we want to get is good education. So, something I want to believe that I'm thin, but it doesn't seem to work, Cappi. I don't know why that is. It's, I guess
So you can think thin, but if you don't believe it, trust me, your belief will win every time.
Okay. So you're teaching folks all over the country, and you're doing, well, you used to do live seminars. Now you get to do a Zoom seminar. We were talking about that before we got started. What is the focus on what you're sharing, how you're educating, and the desire you have or the outcome you're looking for?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I find that people throw the word mindset around, but most people really have no idea how to program it. It's kind of like you doing a radio show. Not everybody knows what it takes to put the show together and to understand all the technology, right? But you do it, so you understand it. And that's how I feel with the mindset. Like, people don't really understand it, and they go, oh, Cappi, I want an outcome, or I want to get a result. And then they try 12 other things, and then they come and see me, and then they get the result, and they go, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known about this. So I almost feel like it's the best kept secret, but it shouldn't be a secret.
Yeah, and it's I came from the world of being an entrepreneur, right? And an entrepreneur, by definition, they know the answer to everything. Just ask them, right? And I came from that world, so I know the answer to everything. No, I'm not. I just kid. But most entrepreneurs don't think about the concept of finding somebody like yourself as a coach. Talk a little bit about the value of hiring a coach and benefits that a person will have for that.
Well, it's really important because I think that let me just backtrack for a quick second. There's so much information out there today. I think we're all on information overload. So-and-so says this person says this, but really we're the only ones that get to manage our mind. So when I go and speak to people and they say, I've tried this or I've used this coach, I always say, you really have to do what works for you personally. So I'm not everybody's coach. I get into the subconscious. I help people bust up beliefs. My new book, I'm so excited about, The Mindset Code, is all about how do we set our mindset to the things we want, the outcomes we want. And one of my famous quotes is, what we feel, we make real. And so if people are looking for a coach, there's a lot of those. But getting into the subconscious and dealing with the level of learning that I teach people is, I would say, really a second step, if you will. I'm not your traditional, go make the hundreds of calls. And I find really powerful solutions for people to shift their perception very quickly. And I do that through NLP and through processes that are in my book. And I make people products, and, I'm the master results coach for Realty Pro 100. I do all the training, and I set up the subconscious system so that people could have breakthroughs and how they think about stuff and how they talk to themselves. And then, of course, what they believe. So what I see in my clients, Ron, and how I help people is, once they start understanding how their subconscious works and they have new products in there, the results follow very quickly.
So when you're talking about the subconscious, I'm just a simple guy. The only thing I know about the subconscious, I've heard hypnosis or subliminal messages. I tried that on putting on my computer one time, subliminal messages. So it was telling me that I'm not hungry or go drink water or something like that. Do any of those things work?
Well, here's the truth. Your mindset works. Most people don't know how to work their mindset. So they try a lot of stuff like that. So there's, powerful information out there, and there's not so much powerful information out there. So somebody would have to do their research. I've worked with thousands of clients for almost 30 years, and, people get very rapid results with me. That's not just hypnosis. It's like saying that every single doctor or every single chiropractor or whatever has the same result. That's not the truth. So you have to find the person that can get you the results you want, that has the success. I didn't go online and go get certified. I've been working at this for 30 years. I've worked with some of the top people in the industry for years and years before I started my practice and speaking and all that. So it's really today, I think, with technology, anybody can go call themselves a life coach, and yet they're an interior designer and they're doing 27 other things. Well, to me, that's not a successful business coach. So if somebody has a full-time real position and they're creating amazing results and they're, got their books and they're on huge stages and doing things that really make a difference and the results are there, then, that's somebody I want to listen to. So, we have to align with the people that we want to learn from. I like to be around a lot of smart people.
I do too. We're talking this morning. Cappi Pidwell is with us, the mindset coach. She's got a new book coming out. We'll talk more with Cappi when we come back. We're going to also talk a little bit about a homeowner's net worth 40 times greater than a renter's. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part: you still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The digest, it's going to give you a lot of great information. It will tell you what the county recorder knows about your property. It'll tell you what the market believes about your property. And best of all, it is free from your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. Homeowner's net worth is 40 times greater than a renter's. Yeah, you heard me right, 40 times greater. One of the best ways to build your family's financial future is through homeownership. Recent data from the Federal Reserve indicates the net worth of a homeowner is actually over 40 times greater than that of a renter. Maybe it's time to start thinking about buying a home, especially when they are so affordable in today's market. It's amazing how affordable they are if you understand the process and get it done, get great guidance. Every 3 years, the Survey of Consumer Finances shows the breakdown of how owning a home helps build financial security. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, if you're watching us on the AM 1490 ABC News and Talk video feed, you see the chart that I've got on the screen right now, and we see the average net worth of homeowners continues to grow, while the net worth of renters tends to hold fairly steady and be significantly lower than that of homeowners. The gap between owning and renting just keeps getting wider over time, making homeownership more and more desirable for those who are already there. Take a look at that. 2010, it was $198,000 was the gap. 2019, $249,000 is the gap between the homeowner and the renter. For many families, homeownership serves as a form of forced savings. Every time you pay your mortgage, you're contributing to your net worth by increasing the equity you have in your home. And I'm going to show you that on a chart here in just a second. I'll try and get that to pop up on the screen as well. The impact of home equity is part of why Gallup reports that Americans pick real estate as the best long-term investment for the 7th year in a row. According to this year's survey, 35% of Americans chose real estate over stocks, savings accounts, gold, and bonds. Today, there are great opportunities available for those planning to buy a home. The housing market has made a full recovery, and all-time low interest rates are giving home buyers a big boost in their purchasing power. If you're ready, buying a home this fall can set you up to increase your net worth and create a safety net for your family's future. Just give me a call at 800-306-1990 if you want to get in touch with a great real estate professional. You know, I lead a lending team. I am not the great real estate professional. I have a license, and I wouldn't even consider myself qualified to write an offer, right? I'm not even qualified to write an offer, even though I've had a license for about 6 years now. That's a specialty. You need somebody to help you when you're dealing with the most valuable asset that your family is ever going to have. Again, that's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. We're chatting this morning with Cappi Pidwell. The Mindset Code is the name of her book. Does a lot of training of individuals. And Cappi, I know you train a lot of real estate people. Give me an idea. I mean, are you seeing, do people, when you talk to people, are they worried about buying? Are you seeing worries about real estate right now, or is that something that we should put out of our mind?
That's a good question. No, I think it's really more on the agent end where I help them get more comfortable and confident and come up with strategies to position themselves more efficiently, market their business more effectively, pick up the phone easier. So I really deal with a lot of the inner obstacles that people have in sales. I often tell my audiences, most people know what they need to do every day. It's the why aren't they doing it, right? So I think as entrepreneurs, and especially in the real estate industry, people want, finances and freedom. And a lot of time agents have not a lot of finances and too much freedom and don't always balance their time right? Like, so we always have those top producers that have their systems in place and have all the things that they need to succeed. And it's that 80-20 rule, right? So we want to learn from people, like I was saying a little earlier, like learn from people smarter than us. So I help people really upgrade their mindset in thinking different and having their mindset set to succeed, because our self-image, our inner selfie, I call it, a lot of times people don't have a successful self-image. And so they're hoping to get a deal or do a transaction here or there, but that's not really a business mindset. So I really help with that success, that internal, get rid of the inner fears, the obstacles, the barriers, the blocks, and you'd be surprised. I have some very successful, financially successful on the outside clients that come to me and sit on Zoom with me, and I do sessions with that are, emotionally very challenged or challenged in their health, or they, drink a lot, or they have substance problems. I mean, I deal with a lot of different things, but, that's why I want to kind of just go back to my book, because I think it's so important to just share with people. The mindset code really does have my subconscious secrets in it. And the book launches on October 22nd from 10 to 12. And I'm going to be doing a 2-hour live coaching on that Zoom event. People can go to my website to register, and they'll get an email that, they can pop on. I'm going to be coaching 3 people live on that. And I'm very excited to share. I just got my book endorsed by Stedman Graham, and that has just been wonderful. He read the book and loved it, and sent me the nicest endorsement messages to support the work in there. So it's really just helping people get out of their own way. Sometimes we're our worst enemy when we're trying to accomplish results. And the reason I'm in real estate, Ron, is because I was an agent myself, and I was a title rep prior to that. And I've been in sales my whole life. So I started studying mindset almost 30 years ago. And it just really changed my world and changed my life. And now I help people do the same thing. So there's really endless opportunities inside of us. But again, like I said earlier, most people just don't know how to leverage it. So I try to find solutions and create programs and products for people, just like I have at Realty Pro 100, where all of our coaching and training there is free, being a part of the platform. We only take in 100 agents. And so that is part of the business model, is getting 100 people very coachable, very open, and ready to take their business to another level. So it's a lot of fun.
So how long does it take? What is the time requirement, the time that I should be budgeting? If I want to get my mindset right, how much time do I need to either retain you or study through the book, or what's the best way?
That's a great question. I would say the book's a really good start. The reason I'm doing the book launch is I'm going to sell a ton of them on that day, October 22nd. Driving, obviously, the book sales up to get on the Amazon bestseller list is my goal with that, and to educate people. That's why I'm saying people don't have education and information about this. So the book's a really good place. And I would say I make the products for people when they work with me, or I have systems online, 20 minutes a day, Ron, if that.
That's, something ironic. It's kind of interesting when you say 20 minutes a day, because there's so many people that say, well, I'm so busy, I can't do anything. How could you not find 20 minutes a day to make yourself better, to make your family better?
Right.
I mean,
and
the problem is you just have to know the right things to do in those 20 minutes.
Well, the greatest thing is I make the products and you put them in and you fall asleep to them. So the greatest thing about what I do is, because the subconscious beats your heart when you're sleeping, it flows your blood, it orchestrates every organ. Your subconscious mind never turns off. Your logical mind turns off when you go to sleep. So a lot of times people go, Cappi, I put it in and I fall asleep. And I'm like, perfect. Because I'm working with the 90% of your mind, which is the powerhouse. It orchestrates every single thing in your body. So to, spend 5 minutes and read a little chapter or do a session or listen to something, you can fall asleep to it. And I tell people you have absolutely no excuse why you can't do it, because we all go to bed at some point.
Okay. I'm a simple guy and I don't understand what you're saying there. I put it in and I take 20 minutes. What am I putting in? Is it like an audio book or something like that?
I make audio. Yes, I make sessions, subconscious sessions. Yes.
Okay.
And you fall asleep to them. Yes.
Gotcha. I was kind of curious. Okay, like how are you going to put it in? So is that something that you do customized, or is that something you?
And then in the book, it's kind of a fill in the blank. You pick a topic. So let's say you wanted to lose some weight, right? Or increase your income, whatever your listeners want to do. You pick a topic in chapter 1, and then you work on that topic through every single chapter in the book. And then it lets you fill in the blank, so to speak. And then I put the script in here so you can read it on a cell phone. You can do it in front. There's a mirror session. There's like some exercises in here that you can do that access your subconscious mind. And again, because most people don't know that their subconscious mind is 1,000,000 times more effective than their logical mind, most people don't know how to leverage and maximize their mindset. So the book walks you through my sessions, my strategies, and it's super simple. Or you can go online and just buy products that are already made by me.
I like that idea. I'm lazy. So I can just go, and I'm assuming we go to cappipidwell.com is where we could buy the products that are already done?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that sounds like my cup of tea. I mean, because I can't read anyway, so it's makes things a little bit more challenging for me. We're going to talk more with Cappi Pidwell about the book, about her Zoom sessions where you can actually get register for some of her live events. I guess we can't go see Cappi anymore, or at least for right now, but you can do it virtually. So we're going to talk with her about that as well. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment is being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com, MySoCalLender.com. They've got the information you need for financing your dreams. 7 mistakes people make when hiring a financial advisor. A 2019 Northwestern Mutual study found that U.S. adults who work with financial advisors report, quote, substantially greater financial security, confidence, and clarity than those who go it alone. The value of working with a financial advisor varies by person, and advisors are legally prohibited from promising returns. But research suggests average additional investment returns can range from 1.5% to 4%. So here's some of the big blunders you need to be careful of. Hiring an advisor who is not a fiduciary. That's a fiduciary is somebody that's looking out for your best interest, not theirs. Hiring the first advisor you meet. How do you know if they're the best one if you've only met one? choosing an advisor with the wrong specialty, right? Some advisors are dealing only in retirement, but if you're in your 30s, that might not be the best advisor for you. Picking an advisor with an incompatible strategy. Maybe you don't want any risk and you're talking to an advisor that only deals in high risk activities. Probably not good. Not asking about credentials. You need to know what your advisor's credentials are. Have they passed the Series 7, the Series 66, Series 65? Are they a certified financial planner, or as that commercial was doing for a while, is their certification in being a disc jockey at the end of the day? Just question. Not understanding how they get paid. It's a fair answer to ask anybody that you're hiring how they get paid, right? Realtors are a great example because, you're not paying them directly. If you're selling, it's part of the transaction. If you're the buyer, it gets built into the transaction. Everything is, but you're not paying directly. So that's part of it there. And number 7, trying to hire an advisor on your own. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch with some of the advisors that we know that we've vetted. Can I guarantee they're going to do a great job for you? Absolutely not, right? But I know that they're going to have the right heart. That's what I want to know, the right heart, the right education, the right credentials. But I would never say that I can guarantee anything from anybody, because if a financial advisor says they guarantee that you're going to get some sort of a return from them, run, don't walk, leave them, right? Because they don't know and they're just lying to you. If they're going to lie to you then, what are they going to do later on in the transaction? That's the Word on Wealth segment, brought to you by mysocallender.com. Chatting this morning with Cappi Pidwell. She's got a new book coming out. It's called The Mindset Code, launching October 22nd. Register for it right now. If you're watching us again on any of our streaming options, you can see that going right along the bottom of your screen with a bird's eye view, though. I will tell you that you can get registered at www.cappipidwell.com, or you can give me a call at 800-306. I'd be happy to get that information to you. But I want to chat with you, Cappi. Before we went to break, you were talking about, I guess in my simple man's mind, there's probably a better technical term, but I just say training my subconscious. And what is the difference between training my subconscious or, going the lazy man way like I did once before, where I just did sublingual?
Well, good question.
Subliminal, I guess, is better term than sublingual.
Yeah. It's a good question. And I think that it really depends on the person. So the reason I love hypnotherapy and NLP is it worked for me. It changed my life. It changed my sales. It changed everything. I could tell you story after story. Some of the subliminal stuff and that people listen to, the difference between hypnotherapy and listening to something like a stream or subliminal words that pop in is hypnosis is designed for very specific outcomes. So if somebody's closing their eyes and they're starting to relax and I'm starting to give their subconscious, it's almost like putting a new app in a phone. If the app is programmed for a specific thing to run, it will run. But if it's just like, subliminal and, listen to the stream and you're peaceful, you might feel good, which is nice. You might relax and have a little bit of peace of mind, but I'm very about results. So that would be the difference. It's very specific for the language patterns that I put in those sessions, even in the book, the things I say that are more specific for the outcome that a person wants.
So speak a little bit about that also, because I know that you're an expert in NLP, and I know that I don't know a lot about it. I've studied a little bit, and my understanding is basically that you're really trying to talk to somebody where they are, where they're hearing, as opposed to just throwing up all over them and not getting anything out of it. Right. So what is the benefit of dealing with the right words when we're trying to communicate either a business or personally or with our kids?
Well, that is the key to everything. We all communicate. And what most people do is they're communicating what I said earlier, their own beliefs. And they're saying, you should believe what I believe. Well, everybody has their own belief system. So as a master of NLP, what I do when I sit with someone is I can listen to their language patterns and really understand their perception. So it helps me to listen to someone, because if somebody's very analytical, right, and they want facts and numbers and that's all they care about, and they're not all touchy-feely, I'm not going to go talking touchy-feely words to them. I'm going to use very hard fact words with them. So it's easier for them to identify with me and say, oh, she gets me. And that's really what we all want when we're communicating with people. We want to step into other people's shoes and understand where they're coming from. That doesn't mean we have to agree with them. But we can certainly have an understanding of where they're coming from. I disagree with a lot of people on a lot of different things, and I'm not, loud and obnoxious about it, but I'm like, I have the right to my opinion, just like everybody else does. And when we honor where people are with something, it just makes life so much easier. So not everybody's my client. And just like everybody's not your client, and there's sometimes you're going to meet those people that they're going to argue and they're going to be difficult. I don't work with those people. So it's easy for me to have that simple conversation and see if there's a match. And I would encourage every single entrepreneur to, really listen to your client's needs. If you can meet the need and you feel like it's a great fit, then you do business with that person. But I don't try to convince anyone or, I don't hypnotize a room. I don't work like that. I'm very clear in my communication and I know how to help people get results. But number one, the person has to be willing. I've had people follow me, outside after an event, go, Cappi, I loved everything you said, but, and I'm like, look, I set it up there and, we're not going to, you don't need to convince me and I don't need to convince you. I know what I do. You go do you, I'll go do me. So I think
Wouldn't the world be a better place if more people subscribe to that theory?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't the world be a better place if more people were subscribing to that theory?
Definitely, because that's why I talk about the mindset so much. Like nobody can manage your mind but you. So I think of my mind, you were talking about interest rates earlier. I think of my subconscious like a bank, Ron. And what do I deposit into it every day is precisely what comes out of me.
That's some great information. So, and you're talking about results. I want to talk to us a little bit about that 2-hour session you're doing so we can get a better understanding of that coming up on October 22nd.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm very excited. So we're going to do a 2-hour live Zoom that people can go register for. It's free. And again, I'm going to be talking about some of the benefits of the book and walking people through how to actually get the change they want. So in chapter 1, as I mentioned, my secret number 1 is pick one topic to work on if you want to change it. So a lot of times what people do is they go, I want to make more money. I want to increase my business. I want to lose weight. I want a relationship. And they're trying to do too much. So if you can focus your attention on one thing for a few weeks, it's much easier to get the outcome. So I'm going to be talking about my subconscious recipes to change. And then I'm going to be walking people and then having some people volunteer so they'll get free coaching from me. And people can actually watch me process someone's subconscious mind live. It's awesome. And the watchers and the viewers are often amazed. Even when I've done this live in a room, they go, and I'm like, yeah, like I know how to do this. It's what I do. So I can take any problem, a phobia, whatever, and have people have a pretty profound breakthrough. So the book launch is all about the steps and how to get those kind of changes.
Wow, that seems like a lot of great stuff for 2 hours. I mean, can you imagine what we can do with our families and our relationships? To me, that's more important than any of the business things. The business things will follow if you're happy at home and you're happy in your life. A lot of the business things are going to end up following, in my opinion. I don't know if that's right or not. But
totally agree. And even though I help people in business, they always end up coming to me with their personal things that I can help them have that breakthrough, because we are our business. So if we feel good and we're working on ourselves, that's why I'm saying that clarity is so important, and it just helps us be more effective with our families and our lives, really.
Well, everything's going to turn back to the family or your life. I mean, I've heard so many people say, well, I want to make a lot of money. Well, okay, why do you want to make a lot of money? It's not because you want to put the money on the coffee table in front of you at home. There's something deeper behind the why and usually I'm going to have to ask them 4 or 5 times why they're doing it until we finally get to the root. And I think, I'm not an expert in it like you. So I would imagine in that time, you're going to be able to do that a lot better than somebody that's not trained, but at least we'll get a head start. We'll be better off than somebody else who hasn't gone through that training.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say, like, why wouldn't you want to take the time to upgrade your mindset? Not a lot of people train us on this, right? There's training and information on so many other things, but it's the one thing that you're with all day, every day. The average person speaks to themselves internally at up to 500 words a minute.
Wow. So we've only got about a minute left, Cappi. Tell me about your events coming up with our friends at Realty Pro 100 also.
Yeah, really excited. We, if anybody wants to go to Realty Pro 100, our website, you can look on the events page, and we have masterminds there for agents that are for all agents to collectively collaborate. I teach them mindset strategies. We have an event coming up on October 29th, I believe, a social event. We do events frequently on training. And again, since I'm the trainer, I'm always speaking of that mindset in addition to how to increase their sales and results. So anybody can go to our website, realtypro100.com, and then go to the events section of the website, and you'll be able to see everything we're up to. We keep it very updated.
And I can tell you firsthand, if you're contemplating visiting our friends at Realty Pro 100, I go there. Very, very welcoming group of people. A lot of people with a similar mindset. They're all looking to help everybody grow, and it's a very welcoming, open, friendly environment. So I highly recommend their events as well. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Thanks.